Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be sharing with you guys my top 10 list of famous people with physical disabilities. I had a lot of fun creating this video because I love history and I love learning about others. So I hope you all enjoy. Now let's get into it. This is my personal opinion after doing some research. This was a very hard list to make because there are so many people with physical disabilities that are or were famous. I have also limited this list to people with physical disabilities because I relate to them the most, and it also made the list a lot easier to make. These people are truly amazing and they are such huge inspirations to me. So here is my top 10 list of famous people with physical disabilities. Number 1, Nick Vujicic. Nick is an American-Australian evangelist preacher and motivational speaker. He was born without arms or legs. He uses his disability to inspire others and spread the word of God. He has traveled to 14 countries and has spoken to crowds of up to 100,000 people. He is truly one of the most inspirational and positive person ever, and I strive to be just like him. Number 2, Aaron Fotheringham. Aaron is an extreme wheelchair athlete who performs tricks that are adopted from skateboarding and BMX. He was born with spina bifida and has used a wheelchair his whole life. He is the first person to successfully perform a backflip in a wheelchair at the age of 14 and a double backflip at the age of 18. In 2010, at the age of 18, he joined Nitro Circus, which is a live-action sports roadshow that tours in New Zealand, Australia, Europe, and the United States. On tour, he performed on a 50-foot ramp-to-ramp jump where he did backflips and double backflips. In 2011, while on tour in New Zealand, he performed the first wheelchair front flip. He performed at the 2016 Paralympic Games opening ceremony. In 2020, he competed on America's Got Talent Extreme and advanced to the finale, where he placed second. This dude is insane, but I absolutely love him, and I think he's a great guy. Number 3, RJ Mitt. RJ is an American actor best known for his performance as Walter White Jr. or Flynn from AMC's Breaking Bad. He was delivered by C-section, and at the time of his birth, he was not breathing, which resulted in permanent brain damage. He was diagnosed with cerebral palsy at the age of 3, and doctors placed his feet in a cast for 6 months to try to straighten them. He was fitted with braces and used crutches for most of his childhood until he no longer needed any walking devices by his teenage years because his body got stronger through exercise. After moving to Hollywood in 2006 with his family, he began training with a personal talent manager to seek acting opportunities where his disability would serve to educate viewers. He received several roles as an extra until he was offered the opportunity of playing Walter White Jr., a character that also had cerebral palsy, on AMC's Breaking Bad. He received the Harold Russell Award for his role as Walter White Jr. The Screen Actors Guild named him as spokesman for actors with disabilities. He is also the representative for inclusion in the arts and media of performers with disabilities, which employs actors with physical disabilities. He also starred in short films and worked as an executive producer on the documentary of the disappearance of Tara Calico. He has also appeared in many music videos. He is an ambassador for United Cerebral Palsy and continues to be an activist and work as an actor. Number 4, Alex Zanardi. Alex is a paracyclist and a former professional race driver. He won the kart championship in 1997 and 1998 and took 15 wins. He also raced Formula One from 1991 to 1994 and again in 1999, but his best result was 6th place. He returned to kart in 2001, but had a horrific accident where his car was split in two, resulting in the amputation of both of his legs. He returned to racing less than 2 years after his accident by creating his own prosthetics. He competed in the European Touring Car Championship from 2003 to 2004, in the World Touring Car Championship from 2005 to 2009. He also decided to take up competitive hand cycling, where he won 2 gold medals in the 2012 Paralympic Games and 2 medals in the 2016 Paralympic Games. He also won a total of 10 World Championship golds throughout his hand cycling career. In 2018, he placed 5th overall in the Ironman Challenge, including able-bodied competitors. In 2020, during a hand cycling competition, he collided head-on with a truck and suffered very serious injuries. He is still working on recovering today in hopes of returning to hand cycling. Number 5. Esther Vergeer. Esther is a former Dutch professional wheelchair tennis player. At the age of 6, she had a buildup of fluid in her brain and suffered a brain hemorrhage, but was released from the hospital 6 months later. In 1989, she experienced headache, pressure behind her eyes, and pain in her neck, but the doctors found nothing. In that same year, she began to have pain around her groin and eventually had a stroke, which led doctors to find that she had vascular myelopathy around her spine. In 1990, she had an operation which made her unable to move her legs, and another operation which left her paralyzed. During her rehabilitation, she learned how to play volleyball, basketball, and tennis in a wheelchair. She played with the Dutch national wheelchair basketball team and won the 1997 European Championship at the age of 16. Over the course of her career as a wheelchair tennis player, she won 695 singles matches and lost only 25, with 148 singles titles. She won 7 gold medals in 4 Paralympic Games. She also spent 668 weeks as the world's #1 women's wheelchair singles player from 1999 to her retirement in 2013. She was undefeated for 10 straight years, ending her career with a winning streak of 470 wins. She has often been named the most dominant player in professional sports. Number 6. Christopher Reeve. Christopher was an American actor best known for his role as Superman. He discovered his passion for acting and theater at the age of 9 and had his Broadway debut in 1976. After his performances as Superman, he began to decline action movies and chose to work in small films as more complex characters. In 1995, he broke his neck after being thrown from a horse in a competition, which paralyzed him from the shoulders down. He then had to use a wheelchair and ventilator for the rest of his life. He then returned to creative work as a director and an actor. He also wrote 2 autobiographical books. Over the course of his career, he received a BAFTA award, a Screen Actor Guild Award, an Emmy, and a Grammy. Beginning in the 1980s, he became an activist for environmental and human rights causes. He lobbied for spinal injury research and better insurance for people with disabilities. He led the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation and co-founded the Reeve Irvine Research Center before his death in 2004. Number 7. Sue Austin. Sue is a British artist working in multimedia, performance, and installation. She completed a psychology degree in 1987. She then obtained a Bachelor's of Fine Art and then went on to receive a Fine Arts Master in 2014. In 1996, she began using a wheelchair because of an extended illness. People began to look at her differently because of her wheelchair, so she used that to start creating works of art to change people's perceptions of wheelchairs. She is well known for her work titled creating the spectacle in which she uses a specialized underwater wheelchair to scuba dive. I think her work is very cool and she is very creative. Number 8. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Franklin D. Roosevelt, or better known as FDR, was the 32nd President of the United States. He was diagnosed with polio in 1921 and his legs became paralyzed. He founded a polio rehabilitation center in Warm Springs, Georgia, while he attempted to recover from his condition. He was well known for his fireside chats where he talked to the American people over the radio, and he was the first president to serve 4 terms. He brought the United States out of the Great Depression with the New Deal, and he also created Social Security. Under his wartime leadership during World War II, the U.S. became a superpower on the world stage, and the Axis powers soon surrendered after his death. Number 9. Stephen Hawking. Stephen was one of the greatest physicists and cosmologists. He graduated from Oxford University with a degree in physics and obtained a PhD in applied mathematics and theoretical physics from Cambridge University. During his studies at Cambridge, he was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21. He is well known for his theories of gravitational singularity and the theory that black holes emit energy, now known as Hawking radiation. He achieved commercial success with many publications in which he discussed his theories. He was a member of the Royal Society and the Pontifical Academy of Sciences. He was also the recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He died at the age of 76 after living over 50 years with ALS. Number 10. Frida Kahlo. Frida was a Mexican painter known for her portraits and works inspired by the nature and artifacts of Mexico. She belonged to the Mexicayotl movement and has been described as a surrealist. She is best known for her paintings about her experiences with chronic pain. Although she was disabled by polio as a child, she was a promising student headed for medical school until she was injured in a bus accident at the age of 18, which caused her lifelong pain and medical issues. As she recovered, she returned to her childhood interest in art with the idea of becoming an artist. She developed her artistic style while traveling in Mexico and the United States in the 1920s and 1930s. Her main inspiration was Mexican folk culture and mostly painted self-portraits. Her first solo exhibition was in 1938, and she was the first Mexican artist to be featured at the Louvre. Throughout the 1940s, she participated in exhibitions in the United States and Mexico and worked as an art teacher. She had her first solo exhibition in Mexico in 1953 and died shortly after in 1954. As a graphic designer, I learned a lot about her in school in art history classes, and I think her work is very interesting and inspirational. That's going to do it for my top 10 list of famous people with physical disabilities. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you learned something new about one or all of these people. These people are true inspirations, and we can all learn a lot from them. Just because someone has a disability, it doesn't mean that they are limited or less capable than able-bodied people. We are all equal and have the same opportunities. Sometimes I think that people forget that, and they just need a reminder. Thanks for watching my video, and I will see you guys next time. Just remember to keep that smile on your face and stay positive, and you can get through anything. As always, keep rolling. Jorgie's out. Peace.
Looking like a T-Rex, that's just how I flex. Jorgensen's coming up, and you know I've got next. I've been making moves, got these haters upset. Haters be confused, man, these haters seem perplexed. Looking like a T-Rex, that's just how I flex. Jorgensen's coming up, and you know I've got next. I've been making moves, got these haters upset. Haters be confused, man, these haters seem perplexed.